All right, that was fun. Past few days. Well, first of all, how y'all doing? Let's just start. Let's start with a with a nice little warm open. Let's not start with a cold open. I'm gonna start with a warm open. Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, we got past that. Past few days. Let me be sure my phone is on vibrate so I don't we aren't interrupted. You know, this is all about us in this little intimate setting. Past few days. Black YouTube, black Twitter, black whatever. We was all focused on laughing at Derek Jackson. Not laughing because, you know, there've been people. I don't know why we have to explain this. First, just so y'all know, I'm not about to say shit about Derek Jackson in this thing. I'm past that. That shit was. But come on, y'all need to stop. What's going on, Kennard? Y'all need to stop all this bullshit, man. Listen. Last thing about this dude, and I swear to God, I'm done. Look, the motherfucker was doing all this bullshit about him and his wife and stuff like that. So for people then to come and then throw this motherfucker's words back at him is not us rooting for his fucking marriage to fail. It's not the same as us sitting there saying, fuck his wife and shit like that. I would, in my personal opinion, I would say that you ignorant ass bitches, y'all were doing the goddamn that whole shit of trying to destroy the goddamn marriage because dudes, all that men were saying was that we knew you weren't fucking perfect. Take your goddamn lumps, you lying ass nigga. Next time you get out there, how about you tell the motherfucking truth from an actual man's perspective, from the actual perspective of a motherfucking person who is fallible. That was the man's general consensus around it. What's going on in your personal life as far as with you and your wife, if y'all get back together, that ain't none of our business. We personally really don't give a fuck about none of that. Only thing we gonna do is hold you accountable to your words from what you said today, as opposed to what you said 6 months ago, as opposed to what you said 2 years ago. That's what the man's perspective was. Somehow y'all women took it upon yourselves to now y'all feel that y'all actually have say so in the marriage. Y'all were the ones who were in these blogs and all the rest of that talk about, so, girl, I wouldn't be holding hands with somebody who cheated on me. She need to leave him. She need to take those kids and blah blah blah. Let's see, little shit like that is why y'all always fucked up. Little shit like that. You don't know shit about what's going on in their goddamn marriage. You don't know shit about what's going on in their relationship and all the rest of that stuff. Fuck all the God shit. Fuck the God shit. Take that shit completely out of the goddamn question. You don't know what the fuck is going on inside these people goddamn marriage. And there are real life children. What's going on, Morgan? And there's real life children that's involved in this shit. And I'm sure they've been married for however long. There could be some real life. Well, ain't no could be. I just assume he said it, she said it. So I'm sure there's some real life feelings and stuff like that. But y'all sitting up there trying to be from the outside and inside saying what this particular couple should or should not be doing when it comes to their marriage. That ain't none of our business. Dragging this motherfucker because he was a complete hypocrite and holding him to the standard that he set for himself. Hey, bro, that's fair game. You put that shit out there. Did nobody come knocking on Derek Jackson's door? Nobody came knocking on your door like, hey man, would you like to give me and my wife some advice? Cause I've been cheating on her, and I just want her to hear from somebody else's perspective how much of a bitch that I am. Nobody asked him for that. So that's why they didn't get that same energy. I swear to God, that is the last I'm talking about this motherfucker and him and his weird ass wife. I'm done. Now, okay. I'm gonna be rubbing my eye a lot because my doggone eye is leaking. I feel like my grandmother right now. I guess I'm at that age where my eye just leaks because it feels like a doggone, I don't know. It feels like my eye is slowly melting. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I got fucking syphilis in the eye. I don't know. I had a pretty good weekend. How about you? What I'm talking about today is going to be exactly what that says up there. Nope, I'm not talking. Nope. Tyrena, I'm not listening to you. I have talked about her in that situation. I shall not discuss her. No, see, you got me doing it. I'm talking about this whole concept, this whole idea, this whole thought that's been going on for a while now, of women talking about this is my truth. Not even got bitch ass dudes saying the same shit. This is my truth. Never has there been a more nonsensical statement than for someone to say something to the effect as though truth could be subjective. We could have a philosophical debate about the objectivity of truth all day. That is an actual discussion. That is an actual legitimate point. That makes perfect sense. You are not going to get an argument out of me when we talk about what someone is doing in relationship to the philosophical discussion of truth. But we know good and goddamn well that that's not what y'all talking about. That the average person, where are my philosophy books? What y'all can, my camera's all the way over there. So what y'all can't see over. Okay, so these ain't even all the books. On this side up here, these books are related to social issues. That's pretty much all the books over there. Social issues and chess. There's a few chess books over there. On this side of my wall, at the top has to deal with like things like sociology and things like that, maybe, and some anthropology and things like that. It talks about. I got a lot of stuff on like different civilizations because just shit that I'm into, the nerd shit that I'm into. This is also part of my Jesus wall, or no, actually I should just say religion wall, just in general. But there's a whole bunch of books, like damn near this whole bottom shelf over here, like the part that you can see right here. This bottom shelf right here is damn near completely dedicated to just stuff on philosophy, because that's it. I found out once I became an adult that philosophy is a subject that I really enjoy. So when you talk about the whether or not truth is subjective, whether or not truth is objective, got it. That is a very valid point to bring up in philosophy. But in everyday terms, that's not what people are saying. That's not what women are saying. When they say that, oh, I feel like this and this is my truth and you can't subvert, you can contradict, you don't know my truth. Thank you, Kanar. I just saw that. That simply means this is my opinion. All that my truth shit is just a way for them to extol their opinion, and it's supposed to be a way of putting a little hedge around their opinion. So this is their opinion. This is my truth is the little hedge that goes around the opinion, and you're not supposed to be able to get past that barricade of my truth, because once you say that, then you're supposed to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't challenge your truth. Well, we're older than fucking fifth graders. So we know good and goddamn well, or adults should understand, that the idea of my truth is goddamn stupid. That the whole concept of that shit is goddamn stupid. Bitch, some shit just is. Especially think about whenever somebody says some dumb shit like that. This is my truth. He was cheating on me. No, he wasn't cheating on you, but that's my truth. No, bitch, that's not even a matter of fucking subjectivity. That's simply just a matter of is or is not. How exactly did that somehow get into the fray, get into the realm of subjective? This is how I feel. Again, feelings are extremely subjective, which is why we call them feelings, by the way. But feelings are extremely subjective. The nature of feelings are fickle. Feelings go by what's going on at that particular moment. You can have a euphoric feeling based solely off a chemical imbalance or chemical balance, whatever, inside your brain. That's why feelings are fickle. So the thought that, you know what, my feelings somehow trump your truth is how we get into a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of problems that we're in today. So mind you, let me get back to and maybe I feel like I need to reiterate. what exactly it is that I do. So the whole purpose, the whole reason that I got into this area, whatever, the whole reason I started talking about these men and women issues, I'm not sure if y'all remember. Before, I was talking about the things as they relate to the black community, and I still talk about that. Like tomorrow, I'm talking about all this Asian bullshit, all this this Asian alliance and all this coalescence around the Asians and shit like that. Oh, I'm gonna be talking about that shit tomorrow. Just a little sneak peek. Fuck them. I couldn't give two less guys. They could kill every motherfucking Asian, including goddamn Bruce Lee and fucking Jet Li and everybody else and whoever else is dead. Fuck it, make Yao Ming. I don't fucking care. It would not make one bit of difference to me. Give somebody the recipe for orange chicken, and then I'm really good. I do not care. I'm pretty sure that we can figure out the doggone recipe for Panda Express. I'm good, fam. We cool. PF Chang's wasn't that amazing to me any motherfucking way. I digress. But this all started because I was talking a lot about revolution and shit like that. But then I realized in talking about revolution, ain't no such thing as revolution. There's no such thing as doing anything together as a black community until we actually have a black community. And we do not have a black community. Their truth is self-proclaimed. The same way they call themselves queens, can't challenge them on either of the two. Thank you, kind sir. And here go my eye leaking again, man. I'm not sure what the hell is going on. What does it mean when your eye leak? Don't they know when people say if your hand is itching, somebody owe you money? What the fuck it mean if your doggone eye is itching? What the hell does that mean? I would love to know what the hell that means, because this motherfucker's been giving me the flux about the past 2 hours. Yeah, about the past 2 hours. This is ridiculousness. Okay. Now, so I started by talking about what we need to do as a people, black people, because again, I don't give a fuck about the others. What we need to do as a people so that we can come together and either have a revolution, which I do not honestly think is fucking possible, or at the very least, fucking, on a very small scale, fix some of the problems that we have that are 100% in our wheelhouse. Some shit does fall under our purview. I am not a fucking fan of having the government try to figure out everything, because they just gonna fuck up whatever it is they're gonna try to do. That's a different story. But we can't even get there because we don't even have a black community. Well, why you say we ain't got a black community? Very simple. Because black men and black women, we are at odds with each other. And to be perfectly honest, the majority of that falls on the goddamn shoulders of the black women. Why? Because y'all the ones who were all too happy to kick dudes out the motherfucking house in the 70s when the white people came in and said, y'all can't have black men up in here if y'all want child support. If you want WIC. Or wherever you from in Chicago, they call it WIC. Or if you want whatever food stamp program and all the rest of that stuff, these dudes can't be in the house. That's what the white people did to break up the family. What the white people never fucking expected was that how much black people will go along with that. How much black women will go along with that doggone sentiment and be like, yeah, fuck them. We don't even need them in the house. Matter of fact, we gonna have more babies because we're going to actually have more kids out of wedlock because we're gonna get more money from the fucking government. They never expected that shit. They thought they'd get way more fucking pushback than they actually got. Way more pushback. But no, black women were all too happy to say, fuck these niggas. They ain't out here doing shit. We don't want them. And then comes all the fucked up shit of that the good ones are in jail, or they gay, or all the bullshit that you've ever heard, or they out here beating on everybody. All this bullshit that you ever heard about black men. Then comes the mindset and the mantra is that we don't even need them. Fuck them all together. We don't need men, black men. We don't need black men. We can do whatever the hell they can do, and we can do whatever it is that we can do, but we're going to do it better. That was is the black woman's mantra, and it's been the same since like fucking late 70s, early 80s. I was born 79, so it's definitely been that way since I've been born. Don't believe me? Cool. You don't have to believe shit that I say. Again, you should not believe shit that I say. I'm going to tell you right now, fuck it, I'm lying to you. So go back and research everything that I fucking said. Go back and look at the movies and the talk shows and the television shows and then the fucking books and the articles and all the goddamn media and the magazines and all the rest of this shit and the songs. Everything that you've been hearing since late 70s to present day. Black men ain't shit. We don't need fucking black men. They ain't good for nothing but they motherfucking dick and they goddamn wallet, and the dick don't work that well, and we make more than them. So what the fuck do you need them for? I can do bad all by myself. All this shit has been a very constant message from black women. I would even understand if this was a message from white women to black women. Unfortunately, that message didn't start with white women. That message started with black women. That message started with black women. Now, for whatever reason, I'm not even gonna try to find an excuse for why the fuck the shit started. Women, y'all find your own excuse for why, and then I suppose I'll listen to that. But whatever reason it started, we've now got fucking 70 years to say no. That's we were fucking wrong, or at the very least, what did I say? 70s to present day. So 70 to 2000, that would be 30 years. 2000 to present day would be 21 years. So that's 51 years. 51 years of social data, 51 years of sociology, 51 years of statistics, 51 years of crime report, 51 years of family, 51 years of census, 51 years of straight up data where we can look, compile, and see. No. Ladies, you were completely fucking wrong when you thought that you can completely dismiss the black man, and then say, fuck it, we don't need him. We don't need to have shit to do with him. We can do it. Objectively, no the fuck you can't. No, it's not you did it, but you did a bad job of it. No. It's you were not capable of fucking doing it. Now, before you get upset and then your fucking clique gets all in the goddamn bunch, listen to what the fuck I'm saying. Since you women are not capable of goddamn raising the household within just by yourselves, I'm saying the same thing about motherfucking men. Except that men, we fully understood that shit. We didn't need nobody to fucking tell us that. Men, we 100% understand and we readily accept we cannot be the sole people in the house that's raising our children. We need the female counterpart. Ladies, your fucking your goddamn hubris won't allow you to admit that. For that reason, we've got these issues we got today. A whole bunch of issues we got today. The crime that we got. The ridiculous amount of fucking crime that we got. Thank you. You said they traded us for public aid. You traded black men for public aid, and you were happy to get the public aid. Happy. You were happy to get your public aid. You were happy to sit in your rent controlled apartments and wherever you from, Henry Horner, or if you was over in Rockwell, or you whatever you was from. Cool. And then in Chicago, this is everywhere, but they started to tear down the projects, and then they started to disperse people all around, from the south side to the west side to up north around Rogers Park and stuff like that. And then once the white people wanted to come in, they were like, okay, cool, y'all niggas got to move out. And then they started sending them all over the place, Sauk Village, and then out to Bellwood, and then out to Addison, and out Aurora, and all over the place, and Waukegan and Rockford. They sent them all over the place. Kankakee. Okay, cool. So, ladies, accept your part in that. Accept your part in that. If you're thinking to yourself, well, that wasn't me. Okay, fine. That's okay, fine. It wasn't you. The initial part of it was not you. That was your mom and that was your grandma now. Cool. I'm only going to be talking about, well, I'm not going to say I'm only going to be talking about, but now that I established that that's what was happening in the past, can we talk about what the fuck we can do today? I'm not a fan of talking about just bitch with no attempt to try to fix the problem. The problem is there is a fucking 100% disdain for goddamn black men from black fucking women. So, with that understanding that half of the fucking population, I'm talking about black population, cannot fucking stand and has no respect for the other fucking population, do you now see why it is not fucking possible for us to do anything of any type of fucking meaning or significance? And if we were to somehow magically, mysteriously, and majestically do some shit, it's not possible for that shit to be goddamn maintained. Because you got one half who thinks the other half is completely fucking incompetent. And then the half, just so I'm clear, the woman, you would be the ones who think the fucking black men are completely incompetent. Thus, creating a problem of the black men, us, looking back at the black woman, saying, fuck her. I know my goddamn worth. See, here's the issue, woman. Just because you don't see the value in a black man doesn't mean that the black man doesn't determine that he has value in and of himself. Now, the whole idea of self-esteem. You're not gonna see me. I've heard this a lot, and let's just get this shit out the way. Self-esteem, yes, has to do with how you feel about yourself. But again, we can talk philosophy now, since the subject is my truth. When we're talking about philosophy, self-esteem has to 100% has to deal. It 100% covers how other people feel about you. It 100%. Now, that's counterintuitive because it's called self-esteem. So why do other people matter? I can only do so much. If I'm sitting here fucking reading books and watching shows and or taking classes or looking at some shit to try to understand, I'm not gonna do my homework in yours. If you don't believe me, again, fuck it. Don't believe shit that I tell you. Assume that I'm lying to you. I tell you that I'm lying to you. But self-esteem does not. The definition of self-esteem is not solely how you feel about you. It is how outsiders perceive you. So, ladies, black women, you've been very fucking. So they have a false sense of entitlement when it comes to us. They do have a false sense of entitlement. What in the hell? Uh-oh. Please don't rip that out. Please don't rip that out. They do have a false sense of entitlement. It's ridiculous. Well, why was that important? Because black men. Well, okay. Black men, for a long time, we looked at ourselves as shit, man. We need to do better and we need to do this. Me, being raised by predominantly women, though I had male influences around. Don't get me wrong. I had uncles. I had older cousins. I had teachers. I even had fucking contemporaries that I looked at and things like that. Some of their fathers, some of their uncles, and things like that. Just men. And as I've gotten older, been in the Army, I was around Oklahoma, being a Mason. I was around a bunch of guys. So I've been around solid men. I've been around bullshit, fucked up. I've been around fucking people. Let's just stop there. I've been around goddamn people. Within the chasm of, within the conglomerate of goddamn people, you're gonna have people who are awesome, people who ain't shit, and you're gonna have a bunch of people in the goddamn middle, just like everybody, right? Okay. So, black women, the black man has not simply we simply have not relied on you to define us into existence or out of existence, essentially. We didn't rely on you for that. So when it came to the whole idea that the black man ain't shit, and you have someone like myself and the people that I fuck around with, and we like, no, you're wrong. You can say all this black men ain't shit stuff if you want to, but the mere fact that I exist blows your fucking argument out the water. I don't have to do anything else except for goddamn breathe. And that makes your goddamn argument completely wrong. Problem is, you women don't want to, women, you aren't doing well with nuance. Black women, you don't do well with nuance. You don't do well with the particulars of a fucking situation. You don't do well with the getting down into the details of what's going on. I'm not going to be able to agree because I was raised by a single black father. Niggas ain't shit. These females think every male they meet is a man, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. That's a good fucking point. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take the first part first. Okay. Say it. I'm not going to do it because I was raised by a single black father. Okay. The fact that Morgan, thank you so much. The fact that the large part of this, again, I started with the fact that women, y'all were all too happy to kick the motherfucking black man out the house, and then if he was in the house, you all too happy to fucking demean him, assuming that you made more money than him or something else. That's a large part of the goddamn problem. When you if you're a woman and you weren't raised with male authority, with male energy, you don't know what the fuck it is to have male energy. You don't know what it is to appreciate a goddamn man. Why? Because all you saw your mama do was pimp these niggas. Let's just be fucking honest. If your daddy wasn't around, they weren't raised in the same. You weren't raised in the same household, or you didn't see him every other weekend, or whatever the case may be. But if you didn't have no dad around, and then your mama starts talking about niggas ain't shit, and then you see your mama start treat these niggas like they ain't shit. Dick ain't nothing but for some. The dude ain't shit but good for nothing but some dick, and give him some money. So what happens? 1st and 15th, dude comes around. He breaks your mama off a couple $100. He gives her some dick, and then he leaves. He don't come back to the motherfucking 15th. You start thinking your man, well, these niggas ain't shit. Problem is, again, nuance. Is it possible? I'm not phrasing it like that. It's not a question. It's a motherfucking statement. The problem is your fucking mama wasn't shit either. Even if I was to concede that the dude wasn't shit, okay, fine. But your mother's an ain't shit bitch too. Why didn't your mother ever stop and do better? Why didn't your mother ever fucking choose better? Somebody let me know that. Like, why didn't your mother stop and choose better? Oh, these dudes ain't shit. Okay, fine. Ain't no dudes out here, ain't no black men out here that's good enough to be with you or whatever. Okay, fine. Why didn't you go get a white guy? Why didn't you go get yourself a nice little Puerto Rican? Why didn't you go find yourself Asian? Why? Because they didn't want your motherfucking ass. Let's just be perfectly honest. They wasn't about to be dealing with all that mouth and all that bullshit that's coming out of your motherfucking mouth. Well, why couldn't you go get yourself a dude who was actually on some nice shit and who actually was about making his money and who was a good stand-up guy? First of all, that guy don't want your motherfucking ass. He didn't want your mama. He didn't want your motherfucking grandma. And more than likely, he probably don't want you. Why? Because you was raised by a bunch of bitter bitches who did nothing except for sow the seed of bitchitude and bitterness into your grandma, into you, your mom, and then she just put that shit now into you. And now that we're 40... unfortunately, you putting that same shit into your goddamn niece or your daughter or your little cousins or whatever the hell it is to so you can justify why you are fucked up. It makes no doggone sense. It makes no doggone sense. We are sitting here in just a fucked up state. A fucked up state of fucked uppiness. Just a perpetual state of fucked uppiness. Why? Because women do not want to say, you know what? I was not perfect through all of these years. It was not all the guys. It wasn't all the goddamn guys. First of all, you haven't dated all the guys. And the pools that you've dated are from the same pool. I dated this guy. He worked at the barbershop. I dated this guy. He worked at the Walgreens down the street. I dated this guy. He worked at the gas station. I dated this guy. He was the mailman. The people that your motherfucking mama dated was probably from a circle that was probably 5 block radius at the goddamn max. And now you want to base all men within on your experience of the people that you've chosen from that particular pool. First of all, even giving you a 5 block radius, you can still find some good dudes in a fucking 5 block radius of wherever the fuck you are. Assuming that you're not in goddamn prison, you can still find goddamn good dudes. It should objectify themselves and want to be treated with respect. True. Hold on, wait, what was the thing you said earlier? Niggas ain't shit. These females think every male they meet is a man. Right. This goes back to women not having. I cannot explain to you all the importance of having the male around. The importance of having the male around. And this is from somebody who didn't have a fucking father. Again, I had male influence. Didn't have a fucking father. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. For someone to say something as stupid as we don't need a man or we can do anything a man can do, it doesn't get dumber than that. Those statements cannot be any more stupid. They just can't be. I can add fucking Bigfoot and flat earth to that sentence somehow and it would not get any dumber. It'd be slightly more confusing, but it wouldn't get any dumber. And yet we have an entire 2 to 3 generations who have been trained and who've been told that you don't need no dudes. Dudes ain't shit. Black men ain't shit. How many times we heard this bullshit? Black men ain't shit. The good ones are either in jail. They ain't out here making no motherfucking money. They ain't taking care of their kids. Black men out here trying to marry these white women. First of all, none of those statements that I just said, I don't know what I just said. 3 or 4, I don't remember. How many statements I just made, none of that bullshit is true. Because like I said before, we got the statics. We have we have the statistics is the word that I was trying to fucking use. Fuck it. Okay, that's gonna be the last of that. So we've got the information. We've got the goddamn data. Right. You can't be that good if you behind bars said it's the men they choose that ain't shit. Right. It's the men that they choose. This goes back to the accountability of the women. When are you women? When are you ladies? I know I'm going to try my best to rein in how often I say the word bitch. Let me be very clear about what the fuck I'm saying. Me calling bitches, I don't feel bad about that at all. I have 2 daughters. I do. But would you call your 2 daughters a bitch? I can't imagine a scenario that I would call my 2 daughters a bitch. But since the word exists and I have a clear fucking thought and definition of what the fucking word bitch is, if they were to ever do bitch behavior, that would make, yes, you're being a bitch right now. I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel bad about that at all. Because if I had a son and that motherfucker was doing some bitch shit like Kirk Franklin's son did, I wouldn't have a problem calling him a bitch at all. Me and Kirk Franklin will be tag team whooping this nigga's ass because he was doing some bitch shit. So since I'm a man, ladies, again, since you didn't have goddamn daddies, shut the fuck up when you goddamn trying to learn something from a goddamn man. Yes, if you are acting like a bitch, I'm gonna call you a bitch. If you get upset because I'm calling bitches, either you're guilty of whatever it is that I'm talking about at that particular point, or you didn't have no motherfucking male in your goddamn family to hold you accountable and then tell you to shut the fuck up if it don't apply to you. So, bitches, when it comes to you and your goddamn delusion of this is my truth, back to what the topic is about, this is my truth, these men cheat on me or cheat on us because they like to stick together. These men cheat on us. They don't do us fair. They don't do us right. We're just the victims here. Is there any part of that where you could have changed something? Is there anything, any actions, any behaviors that you could have done to change some shit? Anything. Y'all keep talking about this. The my truth shit. So within the frame of the my truth, here's the problem when you start dealing in fantasy. Here's the problem when you start to deal in fantasy. When you deal in fantasy, that's your weird little fantastical world, right? Normal rules don't apply in fantasy world, in fantasy land. So it's impossible for another motherfucker to argue about what's happening in fucking fantasy land, because if I start talking to you about the land of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you aren't familiar with the universe of the Teenage Mutant Turtles, you aren't going to understand it. Therefore, I automatically win. That's essentially what we're goddamn playing. That's the game that you ladies are goddamn playing. We can't sit and have a conversation based on objective truth because you ladies enjoy lying to yourselves. And it's, thank you. And it's the same at the age of 40 and at the age of 20. You said then if that's the case, all niggas ain't shit. True. And then they don't need a man. They actually don't. That's true. They all the same shit. That's a man. I cannot express how much of a problem that is. How much of a problem that is. And then I have a nephew, and then I got other cousins and stuff like that that are younger than me that I'm giving advice to, and I have to teach this doggone nephew who was born a week ago. This is how you navigate life. I can't tell him how to navigate life with a motherfucker who doesn't engage with him in a shared reality. If I'm sitting here talking to my nephew and then he tells me, hey, when I talk to women, they telling me about my truth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. But okay, right now we're talking about this. This is what needs to be fixed. Yeah, I get that, but this is my truth and blah, blah, blah. You can't, you. Guess what the fuck I'm going to tell him? Stop dealing with her. What does that mean, ladies? If y'all black women are continuously telling these goddamn black women that they need to still be arguing my truth and they still need to be talking about this is what's going on for me and this is just how I feel. Essentially what I just told my doggone nephew is then stop fucking with black women. Do I feel bad about that? Fuck no. Do better. I don't give a fuck. Let me explain something to you. I don't have a loyalty to this fucking color. It just so happens to be the color that I am. What I have a loyalty to is people who think not the exact same that I am, but people who are on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? You can be a black conservative. You can be a black, I guess you can be a black financial conservative. If you're a black social conservative, then you're just a fucking racist. But we can disagree on a whole bunch of shit. But at the very least, we need to agree on objective reality. If we can't agree on objective reality, I tell everybody, well, first of all, I don't fuck with you. And then I'm going to tell my children, my daughters, they shouldn't fuck with you. And I'm going to tell my nephew when he becomes of age, they should not fuck with you. So what does that mean, black women? I have no problem telling my people and my goddamn self, stop fucking with black women. Does this mean all? Let me be very clear. Because this doesn't mean all black women are on this bullshit. But let's just be honest about this shit. It's way more than 50%. Way more. Way more than 50% of goddamn black women are on this men ain't shit, we don't need blah, blah, blah. How do I know that? I'm so very glad you asked. The reason why we know that is because we are constantly inundated with radio and TV and all forms of media to reinforce that message. And then the songs. And not to mention when you ladies get together by yourselves. Fuck the media and all the rest of that stuff. When you get together by yourselves and you're in the beauty shop or you're at the mall or you're playing Sex in the fucking City like goddamn children. When you're out doing that shit, what do? You sit around and you talk about, oh, how my man ain't shit. My man ain't shit. These men ain't shit. These dudes ain't shit. Hey, these men ain't shit. Never how that bitch Rachel ain't shit. Y'all don't talk about that shit. It's always the dudes ain't shit. No accountability to what it is that you did, what it is that you can fix. It's essentially an echo chamber of fuck these dudes. Echo chamber of fuck black dudes. All you hear, you yell out, black dudes ain't shit. What are you gonna get from your other bitches? Black dudes ain't shit. Guess what happened to me? This will happen to me. 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 And you all know for a fucking fact, all those bitches ain't telling the motherfucking truth. Let's come on, be honest, women. Don't sit there and try to lie to us. We know. There's never been a woman that I've been involved with who ain't talk shit about her supposed best friend. Come on, the goddamn ladies, come on, man. I don't know what the fuck. Do y'all think we just goddamn really that motherfucking stupid, or do y'all think that we like retarded or something? I have no fucking clue. Fellas, back me up on this. As a matter of fact, I don't need you to back up shit. I need y'all to answer the question as honestly as you possibly motherfucking can. I'm not talking about just random bitches that you fuck, because random bitches that you fuck, y'all may not even get that deep into the conversation. It's very hard to get into fucking deep conversations when you got your balls in the throat. So what I'm saying is that somebody that you was involved with anything more than just, you know what I'm saying, just a hey, how's it going? Let's come on, get on this, and then we gonna slide out. Okay? She told you how much of a bitch her motherfucking friend was. The same chick that she go to the club with, the same chick that come over to the house and y'all play spades, y'all sit back and drink, the same fucking chick that she was trying to hook your best friend up with, the same goddamn bitch that she was sitting up there doing all this other stuff. She's gonna chew your ear off about, oh, this bitch ain't shit. 4 years ago, blah blah blah. She forgot my birthday. This bitch ain't shit. She's sitting up there talking all that trash, but I know for a fact she fucking this dude. Why she got this? She's gonna say the same bullshit. So y'all know for a fact that your girls be lying about a bunch of bullshit, but y'all don't never check your motherfucking girl. You don't never check your motherfucking girl. It's always just, oh yeah, what? He ain't paying no child support, girl, man. He ain't shit. What? He's up there taking you back to court for this and that and whatever, and you don't say shit about it. You know good and goddamn well that girl's fucking kid's hair ain't never done, but this bitch walk out looking like motherfucking Whitney Houston every goddamn day. The Whitney Houston that's not on crack. I'm talking about the nice looking Whitney Houston. So we know, men know, that women know that their friends are on bullshit. And we also know that y'all never call these bitches on their bullshit. But for some reason, y'all get upset with us when we call your motherfucking friends or you bitches on your bullshit. That's supposed to make sense to us. We're supposed to get upset. And you wonder why we fuck with white women. You wonder. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it. You wonder. Because guess what's happening? I've been a very fortunate man in my life. You can call it fortune. You can say I made my own fortune. You can say whatever. I don't know. However you want to phrase it, I've never been you can see my face right now. I've never been the prettiest motherfucker on earth. I've also known that I've never been the ugliest motherfucker. Let's just go there. So I know for a fact I've never been the prettiest motherfucker, but I also goddamn know that I've never been the ugliest motherfucker. So let's go there. I used to be in decent shape. I'm, I need to work on that. But I used to be in decent shape. So I've been very fortunate in dealings with the ladies. Yay me. This is not to pat myself on the back. This is only to talk about my goddamn experience. Because experiencing goddamn women of different cultures, of different fucking hues, you learn a lot about goddamn black women when you come back to you all. And you learn that you motherfuckers have lost y'all goddamn mind. Y'all act like y'all are the only options on this bitch. Real talk. Y'all act like y'all are the only way for a nigga to get some pussy, first of all. And then you act like you're the only one that we can go to for a relationship. You have lost, black women, y'all have lost your motherfucking minds. You have lost your minds. Y'all crazy. You all are crazy. This is across Earth. It's a whole lot to take away from stereotypes. And a lot goes bad when you talk about stereotypes. But stereotypes cut both ways, right? A good stereotype would be that Asians are good at math. A bad stereotype would be that Asians can't fucking drive, right? But the stereotypes are there nonetheless. Fuck the stereotype about the black men got big dicks. That's a stereotype that's out there, but most people across Earth know that's not really fucking true. What goddamn people do know across Earth about black dudes is that we know black dudes know how to cater to a woman because a lot of them was fucking raised by a goddamn woman. That is something that's known across the fucking Earth. All over Europe, all over, I can't say I've been all over Africa, but I've been a few places in Africa and Israel and all over the goddamn United States and Canada and all over the Earth. It is well understood that as it relates to men and how they treat their women, black men are at the motherfucking top of that goddamn list. Black men and white men are at the top of that list. And the reason why, and you would think, no, you're not. That's not true. Okay, shut the fuck up. You clearly haven't been around the fucking goddamn world. See, again, this goes back to the whole my truth shit. Bitch, I'm not telling you about something I motherfucking read. I'm not telling you about, you want to check my goddamn passport? Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you about some goddamn shit that's fucking true. From a goddamn perspective of somebody who's traveled the goddamn world and understands and had a lot of pussy around the world. I understand this shit is not this way that you think. Bitch, if the only place that you've ever fucking been is Cancun, shut the fuck up. If the only place that you've ever been is some local shit like fucking Jamaica, yes, I call Jamaica fucking local. I don't even count Jamaica as going out of the fucking town or going out of the country. I count Jamaica the same as going to fucking Arizona. So shut the fuck up. When it comes to goddamn black men around the world, we're at the top of the motherfucking list. We're white people, white men, when it comes to taking care or interacting with their women. Who do you think is more misogynistic, black men or Asian men? Who do you think is more misogynistic, black men or Arab men, Middle Eastern men? Who do you think is more fucking misogynistic, African men or American black men? So, ladies, when you look at that shit on a global thing, you motherfuckers are competing for some shit that in the rest of Earth, and even since America is a melting pot, and you got all these fucking different cultures that are here right now, people realize, you know what? Women specifically realize that goddamn these black dudes know how to treat a woman. No, y'all don't. Y'all, they see y'all on the TV, and y'all they see all these rappers and stuff like that. Again, bitch, shut the fuck up. What I'm saying, that's some stupid shit that women do. Women, when you ever talk about black dudes and how good black dudes are, or the worth of a black man, or the fact that black men are out here doing what they need to do, or whenever you start talking about that, they will say some dumb shit and then start trying to compare a good motherfucking man to goddamn a rapper. Somebody explain that shit to me. How the fuck do you think that comparing a good dude to a rapper, or comparing a 9-to-5 guy to a rapper, how the fuck are those two? That's not even in the same goddamn conversation. First of all, rappers and athletes are an extremely small percentage of people. Fuck black men. This is just people. Rappers and actors and entertainers are essentially anomalies. In the grand scheme of things, there's 7 billion people on this earth. Rappers, singers, entertainers, famous people. What percentage do you think makes up that 7 billion? I wouldn't even imagine that it would get 0.1%. I can't even imagine that it would be 0.1%. I would imagine it's probably more along the lines of 0.0001. Okay, matter of fact, how about I pull up the goddamn calculator? Because let me see what that would be. Okay, what am I doing? My computer, my laptop. My keyboard. Okay, hold on, calculate. I guess I could have reached for my phone that's sitting right there, but fuck it. Sometimes I like to do stuff the hard way. Don't judge me. I like to do stuff the hard way. Okay. 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 7 billion times 0.001 equals. No, we off. Hell no. That's 7 million people. Nope. That ain't even close. So let's try this again. 7, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 times 0.00001 equals. That's 7,000. I think that's a little low. That's pretty low. 7,000 is a little bit low. So let me bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up more. 7, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. For the stupid people, the 1, 2, 3s are for the zeros that goes behind. But I don't have time to talk to stupid people. I don't have time to talk to you motherfuckers. You probably should learn some shit. 0.00001. 70,000. That seems like more on par. That seems like more on par with reality. Let's just say that I'm magnitudes wrong. Let's just say it. What did I just say? 70,000? Let's just call it 1 million. 1 million. 1 million. 1 million rappers and singers and entertainers and across the globe. I'm talking about everything. Bollywood, every possible thing you can think of. Let's call it 1 million. Out of 7 billion? That ain't shit. Which is why I don't talk about fucking entertainers and shit like that, because they are anomalies. They are, when in relationship to the aggregate of all of us, they are fucking insignificant. They don't goddamn count, because the likelihood of you being a motherfucker, one of that precious million, is so fucking infinitesimally small. It's not worth talking about. It would make more sense for me to actually talk about lottery winners. You said they go off of what they heard about the celebs. That's that, ladies. You're fucking stupid. Y'all listen. Okay, fellas, how many times did you have to hear, or did it come across your timeline when Meghan Markle got married? Whenever the fuck they got married, I don't even know. They stopped American TV programming and the news. Women in this country were waking up at, I don't know what time or when it happened, but I know that it was early in the morning because women were talking about, girl, I'm going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning watching this motherfucking wedding. Like, fucking for what? And then it's one thing to watch some shit like that because of the entertainment value. Okay, fine, whatever. You're a lady. Women, y'all think about that shit all the time. Oh, one day I could be a motherfucking princess, stuff like that. Okay, fine, whatever. It's cool. Dudes, we watch shit too. We watch fantasy shit too. I used to watch goddamn WWF, WWE. It was cool. It was great. But at no fucking point did I ever think to myself, one day I'm going to grow up and be the Undertaker. I never sat there and thought to my motherfucking self that was actually going to be a thing. And you know what else I never fucking did? I never thought to myself that, you know what, if I'm not the Undertaker, if my job doesn't treat me like I'm the Undertaker, then my job ain't shit. That's the problem with you motherfucking ladies. Y'all sat there and watched that goddamn Meghan Markle shit and then looked at her husband, the prince, whatever the fuck his name is, and it's like, what? I need to compare my man to him. Y'all looked in, I don't remember which of those rappers, I think it was Gucci Mane. Everybody was talking about how you need to treat your man like Gucci Mane treat his bitch. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know if it's his wife, it's his side bitch. I don't know. I don't follow those motherfuckers like that. But bitches do. Why? Because y'all want to live in this fucking fantasy world. Y'all are constantly comparing what the fuck you already got to some shit that's on TV. That's why y'all like to watch all this Love and Basketball, Bitches of Orange County and shit like that. Because what's going on in your motherfucking life? Women, y'all will pour out and invest all this goddamn time, energy, money, effort into figuring out what's going on with somebody else's motherfucking relationship on that goddamn TV than actually stopping and assessing what the fuck you can be doing better in your own motherfucking relationship. And then you wonder why dudes ain't trying to fuck with you. According to y'all, black dudes ain't trying to fuck with you. Okay. Because while y'all sitting here talking about black dudes ain't shit, while y'all sitting here talking about these basketball bitches on TV and all the rest of that shit, guess what Becky's doing? Becky's over there saying, oh, okay, you said you like your cornbread a little sweet? Cool. All right. Guess what Martha's doing? She's saying, okay, so you saying that you like that? Cool. They're willing to put in the fucking work. Put in the goddamn work. Recognize I have they recognize that I have a dude who is at the very least good enough. And since I'm not perfect and he's not perfect, we can sit and be together, and then everything that's not perfect, we can go get some counseling and then try to get together. But when you in that fucking delusion of I can do better and that delusion of I can always level up, you're too fucking stupid to recognize what it is the fuck you got. No, the premise is, the basic premise is women talking about my truth. So essentially, women not being objective and stating simple objective fact. The thought that my truth is I haven't ever dated a good man, therefore good men do not exist. That's my truth, therefore I cannot be challenged on that because it is my truth. So that's essentially the premise of what I'm talking about. And all the fuckery that goes along with that. Because when you start, just that statement right there, you don't take into account all of the factors that go into. You don't know how to stop and actually assess what happened. Let's just be objective about what happened. Well, he was cheating on me and without the emotion. How can you tell somebody not to be emotional about some shit? Shut the fuck up. Because you don't make your best decisions when you're emotional. It's fucking bad juju, and you don't want bad juju. You need to make sound decisions based on objective truth, reasoning, and goddamn rationale. You need to be. I'm not just talking about women. This is simply how Earth works. You do the shit at your job. The problem is that women, you do the shit at your jobs. Some of y'all. But you do the shit at your goddamn jobs. So how is it so hard, and why is this such a mystical thing for you to comprehend that when you deal with your man, or you know what? Fuck. You know what? I misspoke. Fuck the guy. The guy ain't got shit to do with this. Because essentially what this basically comes down to is that you haven't fixed yourself, or you aren't even aware enough to know if you have any goddamn, excuse me, not if you have any flaws, but you aren't aware of the flaws that you fucking possess. What does that mean? If you aren't aware of your fucking flaws, you aren't going to fix your fucking flaws. So you are going to repeat the exact same mistakes because you don't think you're doing anything wrong. So the person who just told you that what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is not fair, what you're doing is bullshit, what you're doing is actually completely antithetical to this doggone relationship, you just dismissed him. You got rid of that motherfucker. So the one person who was telling you that what you're doing is fucked up, you need to change, you didn't listen to him, you didn't think it was true because he was going against your objective truth. You're going against your subjective truth. So you got rid of him. So now who the fuck else is going to tell you about you specifically? Your mama? You're your mama's baby. Is it your girlfriends? No, your girlfriends, y'all all friends. Y'all, females, all y'all do is sit there and go back and bolster your girlfriend's bullshit. Okay? All you do is sit back and go and bolster your girlfriend's bullshit. So this goes back to everything I was saying before. If your ass did not, if you never saw a if you didn't grow up with a father or male energy in your goddamn household, you never saw what it looks like to have an actual relationship. You don't fucking know. You have no fucking clue. If you think that simply by watching Family Matters or watching the Huxtables or watching the Brady Bunch or watching whatever TV shows that you like to watch growing up, yep, they had some positive male role models on there, but they did not give you the whole of two people intertwining and making themselves into a better union. So I clearly have flaws, as everyone does. But in dating, you personally, you don't. But wait. But in dating, don't you personally have any hard no's? Do I personally have any hard no's? Absolutely. I've got a. Okay. So I need to clarify. I don't consider dating and fucking the same thing. So when it comes to me dating someone, I date for the purpose of us. I actually want to establish something with you more than fucking. Fucking is a completely different application that they fill out. Fucking is a 2-page application that you fill out. Trying to be my woman, that's the whole background check. I need to talk to you. I need to know the name of your dog in the 3rd grade. I need to know exactly how that fish died when you were in kindergarten. There's a whole lot that goes into that. My father was there. My God, I hope no one who knows him can see this. But he is how I learned But he is how I learned what I do not want to be in a partner. I'm not saying that just because, okay, my father was not there in my life. So from him not being there, I realized what I would absolutely not be as a man. 100%. There was a whole bunch of shit that I knew I would not do, and I would not emulate as him. But my point is not so much talking about just because, okay, I'm assuming that you said because the father wasn't there, then you didn't know how to deal with a man. I still stand behind that statement. If you were not raised with a father, if you didn't have male energy, it doesn't have to be your father. If you didn't have an uncle, if you did not have any type of male influence, and it was just all feminine women around and women telling you shit, then you don't know how to interact with a man at all. Same thing, vice versa. You will have no clue how to deal with a man. Case in point, which is why women are so doggone confused. Okay, here's a simple example. A simple example would be women get confused when the man, the child is running and jumping and screaming and hollering all day. The child is being a child. all day. They go to the grocery store. The child's knocking shit off the counter. Like, oh, God. You finally get the child home. The child's just jumping and running, and he's smashing stuff, and he's throwing shit. He's not paying you no attention. The father gets home, and the father says, sit your ass down. And you wonder why the father sits, and you wonder why the child sits down. Few reasons. One is because just by the nature of your father, that man having a deep voice, children are going to respond to the man that has a deeper voice, right? Now, this is coming from to you from a man. I don't have a deep voice. Clearly, you all can hear me, so my voice is in a higher register for a man. But that's not the fucking. That's not the deep voice thing. Is really only matters when you're talking to like younger children, like babies, like maybe 3 years old and younger. That shit goes away, but it's not the fear. No, part of it is the fear, but it's not the fear of the voice, because very shortly women can have deeper voices too, right? There's women with voices deeper than mine. But the point is not the fear of the voice. The point is the fear that child understands daddy doesn't repeat him fucking self. When dad says sit your ass down, that's his only time fucking saying it. That's it. I'm saying this shit one time. How does that child know that? Why? Because dad will follow up with his actions. Sit down. Ga, 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 ga. Now it's ass whooping time, or time out time, or however y'all discipline y'all children. No going outside time. No snack time. No, whatever it is y'all do to discipline your children. Men in general, okay? Men in general do not fucking repeat themselves when they talk to the kids. Sit your ass down means sit your ass down. Women, that's something completely different. So if you grew up in a household with that male energy, you will completely understand that. Well, how does that have to do with relationships? So very glad you asked, because this just so happens to be something that happens in my life. Granted, anecdotally, because I'm only talking about my life, but this is something that happens in my life and shit that I've seen repeatedly with goddamn women. Women, if the man is angry, or you two are in some type of argument or something like that, and the man simply tells you that, look, we need to stop, because I'm angry. We need to push this off until I need to calm down. The brother's pissed. Really simple. Really fucking simple. He's just as pissed in that moment as 20 minutes later when he tells you to shut the fuck up. I just goddamn told you that I don't feel like fucking. See, what you women don't understand, he was just as pissed off in both of those instances. It's just in the first part, he didn't need to raise his voice, because he figured he was talking to a goddamn adult who fully understood the words he was using. I'm upset right now. We need to table this conversation. I need to go take a walk. I need to go for a fucking drive. We could do this after dinner. Maybe we could fill in the blank. I don't know. But if I'm trying to disengage, let the motherfucker disengage. But again, since you didn't grow up with a fucking father, you don't understand. Men are not women. But you want a man to act like a woman. Act like a woman. A woman is the one who does all the, oh, yeah, motherfucker, yeah. That's not how men get fucking angry. By the time the man gets to that point, the latter point, what I tried to say about the yelling and stuff like that, he's pissed the fuck off. But he was just as pissed off at the beginning. Now he's pissed off for a completely different reason. Because you've just completely blown him out. You just ignored his goddamn words. So now what he's angry about now ain't got shit to do with whatever y'all was just arguing about. Now you aren't fucking respecting him as a goddamn person because you're too busy being a goddamn child and not understanding that the motherfucker want to goddamn disengage. And you women are assuming that you're dealing with someone who has their anger issues under control. Your best case scenario is that you do have a guy whose anger issues are under control. Wait, go back. I often need to disengage as a female when you find. I understand that. Yeah, okay. Listen, I'm talking about men in general. I'm not talking about all men. I'm not. Because there's a lot of effeminate men out there. And I don't mean effeminate as in that you're gay or effeminate that you hold your wrists like this or anything like that. I mean effeminate in that those guys were not raised by men. They weren't raised with women energy. So those males, let's call them bitches for now, those bitches will act like bitches when pushed. When they saw their mama say something, it was like, no, girl, da-da-da-da-da, no, bitch, fuck all this shit. What is that child gonna do? You didn't grow up with no male energy, so you don't know, you didn't have nobody, you didn't have a man to slap your fucking upside your head like, what the fuck is you doing, boy? Either fucking fight or shut the fuck up. Like, at some point, a man should have had somebody in his life tell him to either you're going to whoop his ass or you're going to shut the fuck up. Either way, there comes a point in time every man should have had a discussion, or remember this discussion, that you've had to either tell another man or you've heard someone tell you. Every fucking escalation, there becomes a point where there's no more fucking talking. Generally, that fucking point is very early in the conversation. You need to establish how far are you willing to let this go. And you establish that very early in that goddamn conversation. You don't wait until the middle of, again, see, women, this is advice you don't get from a fucking woman, because women are fucking women and you're not goddamn men. Men are men. I'm not going to say we're all raised by men, but the advice that a man will give to another man is not the same as what a woman is going to give. If someone gave you good advice, great. That's awesome. But a man does not give another man, well, you need to figure out if you're going to fight him, but you waiting to see how the conversation going to go. Nope. You need to determine in the beginning of that conversation, or whatever it is, where exactly am I going to draw this line? Am I completely fine with whooping this dude's ass? Is it okay for me to choke this motherfucker out? Whatever it is you're going to decide to do, you figure that shit out, and you figure that shit out early. Once you get to the point that you know you're going to do whatever, there's no point in talking no more. Either whoop their ass or move the fuck on. Simple. It's not a difficult concept at all. But again, men being raised by women and women who think that they are men think that, remember I was talking about that toxic fucking femininity shit. Women, and you got all that toxic fucking femininity, you sit there and tell yourself that, oh no, girl, oh hell no. Look here, son. Look here, Travante. If he go out there and you got a dude jump to come, you need to go and whoop his ass. You need to do all the rest of that shit. You need to do this, that, and other. You don't let no motherfucking man punk you and all the rest of that stuff and things like this. All the horrible advice that you've ever heard. Because it's a woman it's a woman placing herself in a situation that she thinks a man would be in, and then imagining in her weird ass fucking mind, what would a man do? Never stopping to think, oh, I got ovaries. I don't know what the fuck a man would do. I can't even go off of recollection of what I saw my daddy do, because I didn't have a fucking daddy growing up. I can't go off of recollection of what my grandfather do or my uncles do, because I didn't, that energy wasn't around me. So I only got feminine goddamn energy to put into my goddamn child. All I got is feminine energy to put into my goddamn child. And then you wonder why these dudes grow up to be bitches. Just straight up bitches. And I'm not talking about gay. I mean just straight up bitches. That's the problem. The whole my truth shit. That whole, when you don't take accountability for what actually is going on, to bring it back full circle, when you don't take accountability for what's actually going on, ladies, in life, when you are completely bereft of goddamn introspection, when you have zero clue about what the word accountability and what the fuck the concept of nuance is, you get into these fucked up negative feedback loops of stupidity. And then you wonder why guys do not want to deal with you. How is that confusing at all? I don't understand how that would be remotely confusing. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Right. You said date adult. The problem is this actually is a good point. Date adults. But the problem is, when you got a whole large population of women, you came late, Bebo, so you may not know that I'm talking about black women. Although this extends to all women, so I really could take off the black part for this conversation and talk about all women. But in the black part, is more of it's a deeper chasm than in other communities. But thing still holds up. Stop dating. How about this? Stop fucking dating. No joke. No fucking haha. This is not a setup for a fucking joke line. It's not a premise of a fucking joke to come later. No. Stop fucking dating. Fix your fucking self. Get some goddamn therapy, some fucking counseling. All this bullshit that's going on. No, here's the problem. I'm not talking about crazy. I'm not talking about crazy women. I'm not talking about crazy. I'm not talking about women who are just going out there acting like asses. I'm talking about, this is the difference between black women and all those other bitches. The difference are there as there are shit about to. Nope. Here's the difference. When I speak about black women has, what did I say before? 51 years of history to show how the black women completely shit on the black men. It's not the same as any other community. It's not the same as Hispanics. It's not the same as whites. It's not even close. It's not even close. So black women were all too happy to kick the black man out the house, all too happy to say black men ain't shit, all too happy to say that I can do whatever the hell a black man can do. I can do whatever the fuck. Now it's to the point where I don't even fucking need a black man. I don't need a motherfucker for dick or for his money. So it's not the same when you deal with other races. Case in point, when you talk to it's completely understandable, completely acceptable. It's completely understandable and it's completely acceptable for a Hispanic woman to still be in a relationship or to be married to a guy who's a fucking day worker. A Hispanic woman, a Guatemalan woman has no problem being married to or in a relationship with a guy who's a fucking day worker. This motherfucker wakes up every day. He goes down to the plant. He goes to Home Depot. He goes to, I guess if you're in some type of city like a dock or something like that, whatever. But he goes wherever they need day workers. He makes his money and he brings it back home. You have motherfucking women. Who fled their fucking country, came with their man and their child over to America through all manner of bullshit, jumped the fences, ran away from dogs, slept in fucking people's houses and whatever. Now they established themselves. She stays at home, or maybe she goes and she cleans or picks fruit, or she waits on tables or something like that. Maybe she's a secretary or whatever the case may be. The man is out there. He's not balling out of control. I mean, he got himself a job. He's making his money. He's doing something. But collectively, they may make about, let's say, 35, 40. Collectively, between the both of them. She doesn't look at him as less than a fucking man. But in the black fucking community, she looks at him like, girl, why don't you find somebody else? You in the land of fucking America now. You need to let that motherfucker go. See how it's way more fucked up in the goddamn black community. Way more fucking fucked up. Way more fucked up. I hate that I have to have this fucking conversation publicly. But women, you've been having this black women, you've been having this conversation publicly for fucking years. Fucking you were all too happy to go on fucking Oprah and Sally Jesse Raphael and whatever the other chick, and Jenny Jones and all the rest of that shit. You said, how's that turn out for those women? Do you mean the women who were, turn out for those women? Did you mean the women who were the women who stayed with the day worker, or the women, or the black women who say that they should have left the day worker? I'm not sure what you mean, so I'll just answer both. The women who stayed with the women who stay with the guy, with the Hispanic guy who's the day worker, of course they're going to have troubles. Everything's not going to be peachy keen, but guess what? Everything's not peachy keen if you're making $1 million a week. Everything's not peachy keen. Even then. Okay, so what does that mean? At least they're the ones they say should leave. No, okay. So I'll finish this part. So even if you stay with that guy, you're gonna have issues in every relationship. Why? Because you have an entire other person, and you got two people that's trying to get on the same fucking wavelength. That's difficult, no matter how we try to cut that right. Because this person is not you. You're not them. Y'all gonna have to try to always sync up and do stuff. Problem is, when you have the people saying, oh, you should leave him, you should go get another guy. Because when you reduce guys to dick and money, the rest of that shit doesn't matter. Case in point, This man just brought your ass from fucking poverty in one country and brought you to a whole nother fucking country. Yet people will have the audacity to think that he's the one you should give up. That nothing is that. It doesn't get more backwards than that. To think that the guy who brought you from one fucking country out of whatever the fuck the case is and brought you into this doggone another situation, so at the very least, well, you still not rich here. Okay, but at least you maybe have the you have some more opportunities here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not about to sit here and preach to you about the land of rich milk and honey and all the rest of that shit in America. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is that poverty in Guatemala is not the same as poverty in fucking America. Let's be honest about that shit. Not to admit, so even if you can think about the immigrant population. So that man is thinking to himself, you know what? Fuck it. I got my wife out of this shit. I got myself out of this shit. This ain't about us. I don't give a fuck about us. I need to keep my wife alive. I need to ensure that I'm alive so we can take care of our goddamn child. Because there's a few things I can fucking guarantee you. The first thing is that my goddamn child will never, ever grow up in the poverty that we just left. That's never going to fucking happen. My child is going to get all the opportunities that I never fucking had. That's the fucking difference. That guy's more focused on his family. Whereas the gal telling her, oh, girl, you pretty, you beautiful, you're in America now, you a fucking 9, you a 10, you could be a model, you could be a whatever. Then she goes and she gets with a motherfucker who's whatever. Maybe she is that beautiful. Maybe she is that fine. Maybe she is that fill in the fucking blank. You are never going to find a man that's as good to you as the guy who just brought your motherfucking ass out of the shit you were just in. It's never going to fucking happen. I don't give a fuck if you were sucking Jesus' dick himself. It is never going to fucking happen. But that's the goddamn problem when you goddamn black bitches start equating money to value, or specifically you start ranking men solely based on their money. Because even within the concept of ranking a motherfucker based on how much they make, you are leaving out a whole bunch of other shit. Because let's just stay with the money fucking factor. What good is it to rank a motherfucker based on how much money you make if you also don't rank the motherfucker on how much money they're going to give you? I don't know how many motherfucking times I can goddamn say this. A motherfucker could make $1 billion a fucking day. If they never give you any, what the fuck difference does it make? That's why the shit fucking falls apart. You don't even have to think about this shit long. It falls apart very quickly. Very quickly. But no. Black women, Black women, y'all are just happy to sit and say to yourselves, you know what? Dudes ain't shit. This was actually going to be a different, what I'm about to say right now was actually going to be a show in and of itself, but fuck it, I'm going to say it now. Here's the problem. When it comes to women, black women, as long as y'all hold the fucking pedestal up here, and as long as y'all say that these men ain't shit, nobody out here is worth it, girl, just go ahead and be yourself because they all the dogs. As long as you keep the pedestal up here, he needs to be this tall, this much money, this dick needs to be this long, he needs to wear this size of shoe, he needs to fucking have this type of beard, he needs to fucking have six packs, he needs to have his own house, and the house has to have not only a garage but a carport on the fucking west side, and it has to have a sunroom in the south so that we can see them. As long as you keep on putting on these ignorant as unattainable goals for the guy, you can always say that motherfucker doesn't exist. Why? Because you made the standard for Superman. Insert Derek Jackson. As long as you dumbass bitches constantly compare your actual motherfucking man to the persona of a motherfucker who doesn't exist, you can always say that this motherfucking man ain't shit, and you can always say, I can aspire to get me one of those. Except for the problem is that motherfucker doesn't exist. So that leaves you bitches out here lonely and lonely and broken and angry, delusional, So guess what happens now? But if you were to take that doggone, if you were to take the standard of Superman off of the guy and put the standard of Clark Kent onto a guy, that changes shit for you. But it also fucks up your entire ideology. Because if you take off the cape of Superman, take off the tights and the red shit, Superman is Clark Kent. So the second y'all sit there and start saying, you know what? Well, my expectations are going to be reasonable. I just want a guy who's capable of taking care of himself. You know, he needs a job, and you know, I don't need him to pay all my bills. What I really fucking care about is someone who actually loves me, and we can take care of our children, or we can make some children, whatever the case may be. You feeling realistic standard here. The second you dumb bitches sit there and say, the second you stupid bitches sit there and say, my standard now is no longer Superman, but it's motherfucking Clark Kent. The question becomes, well, why the fuck can't your ass get Clark Kent? It's 15 fucking Clark Kents on your way to your motherfucking car, you raggedy bitch, you. I swear to God, you and Clark Kent have been working on the same project at your motherfucking job for about the past 2 weeks. Why the fuck can't you? You had to talk to Clark Kent when you pump gas at the gas station. You see this motherfucker every goddamn day. The world is full of fucking Clark Kents. But you ignorant bitches are sitting here running around trying to find Superman. And you're doing it, whether you're doing it consciously or you're doing it unconsciously, I have no goddamn clue. But what I do know is the fact that whenever you come to that realization, or whenever you admit publicly that my standards aren't that high, I just want a good guy, the next fucking question out of my mind is, well, why the fuck haven't you found him? If your standards are so reasonable, if what you want out of a guy is such an easy task, if your standards are completely rational and they're not ridiculous, why you ain't found him yet? Clearly there's something fucking wrong with you. Because there's more than enough Clark Kents to go around. More than enough Clark Kents to go around. So what the fuck is wrong with you? So the problem is, when it comes to that, you ignorant bitches, the problem is, when it comes to trying to get with the Clark Kent, your ass ain't ready to be with Clark Kent or motherfucking Superman. Bitch, you're not ready to be with motherfucking Joker. Why? Because you still have not dealt with your fucking truth, and you still have not said to yourself, these are the issues that I need to fix. I have trust issues. I have issues that stemmed from some shit that when I was a goddamn child. I got touched when I was a child. I witnessed my father whoop my mama's ass. I don't know what the fuck happened. But all of that shit built up inside of you. Now you mean to tell me as an adult, you're going to sit there and try to convince another motherfucking adult that you don't need help? You don't have no lingering mental health concerns that could be creeping into your everyday affairs that you aren't aware of? No. Bitch, you stupid. This is the reason why you're stupid. Because the most average bitch is probably going to say something fucking dumb like, oh, well, I can fix it on my own. Little shit like that further lets me know that, bitch, you're too immature to understand this goddamn concept. If you could... Psychologists have their own therapists, social workers. They have their own therapists because you are not. I need something that I can scream into, because this shit irritates me so much when I hear this, or I see in the comments and shit like that, or maybe not my comments, just watch other people's videos. Like here's what I do. Like when I watch other people's videos and shit like that talk about similar things. Like Derek Jackson and stuff like that. Yeah, his videos are funny or whatever the case may be. It's just fucking stupid. It's just bitch niggas talking bitch nigga shit. But what I do is, like, I like to go into the fucking comments and then just see, are these motherfuckers really believing this? And you'll be surprised how many motherfuckers believe it. So I'm gonna I guess I'm responding to what I know ignorant bitches would say, because I've seen what ignorant bitches say. So if you are not a mental health professional, how the fuck would you know how to diagnose? How the fuck would you know the signs and symptoms of a mental health condition? How the fuck would you know? If you're not in the healthcare profession, how the fuck would you know that in general, shit that goes wrong medically, it never presents the way it says in any goddamn book. It is never a cookie cutter situation. I don't give a fuck what it is. And you're talking about something that's not a quote unquote hard science like biology. We're talking about something that's goddamn, nope, it wouldn't even be experienced. You're talking about something, because, well, first of all, you don't have the experience. Case in point, you are not a mental health professional. You don't have it's impossible. You don't have the experience. The experience would be the mental health expert who they did their undergrad talking and looking at these things and talking about it. They had to go to they had to go to grad school. They had to do clinicals. They had to do rotations. They had to actually watch video, and then they had to have their own patients. They had to listen to their other clients, listen to their other students' interactions with their clients, so that they could have an understanding. But that goes back to my point. Your personal experience means fuck all to the rest of Earth, because your personal experience means nothing if you don't shine the light on this is what it means to have this. Case in point, if all you know is bipolar schizophrenic because your uncle and your brother and your son and your daughter and your mom and everybody else, you know that, right? You know that aspect of bipolar schizophrenic because you know those signs and symptoms. But what happens when someone presents with the signs and symptoms of something that you haven't seen? What happens if it's a very early onset and it just looks as if this person is, I don't know. I can't even think of, okay, shit, I'll tell you about myself. I don't think this shouldn't be a secret to anybody else that's on this motherfucker. Plus, I was never closeted about the fact. Shit, hold on for 1 second. I've never hid the fact that I have PTSD. I've never tried to hide that fact. I don't think I've ever talked about this with publicly before. Well, with family, yeah, but publicly. So when I went to not Hines. I went to Lovell, VA, which is in Illinois. They tried to diagnose me with being bipolar. That's what they tried to do. And funny, hey, you all want to know something funny? When you go to a mental health facility and you are admitted as a patient, they don't really give two fucks about what you have to say as it relates to your mental health. They do not care. So there is no amount of protesting that I could do to explain to these people I am not bipolar. I could not do it. I know what you think to yourself. Well, Johnny, was you running around and just diving into the wall? Were you sitting up there trying to tackle the motherfucking bedpans? No, I was not. I was not. I am talking to you. I am talking to you the same way that I was talking to that motherfucking doctor and trying to let her know, wait a minute, hold on for a second. I'm not bipolar. I have never been bipolar. The reason why I'm here is for something completely different. PTSD. Look at my fucking chart and all the rest of that stuff. Here's the problem. If she was a doctor. She was actually the fucking head of that doggone mental health facility. She was a professional with years and years of experience, and she misdiagnosed something. That's why your personal experience means fuck all. Because you, me, anybody, being someone who's not a professional, not someone who understands what the nuances of this particular thing are, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Bring it back to something that you understand, people, right? It's very easy for someone to confuse a tension pneumothorax and a hemopneumothorax. It's very easy to get confused as to which is which if you have a basic understanding of anatomy and biology and trauma and stuff like that. But the treatment is fucking different. Though they present the same, the treatment is completely fucking different. And not knowing how to treat one and treating one like it's the other can result in your patient dying. 1 second. I knew a girl locked in the psych ward because they fucked up her name at her appointment. She was sedated, trying to tell them they had the wrong person. That is fucked up. Yeah, they do not pay attention to what you have to say when you are in the you can tell them that this color is gray. I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but this color of this tile on my wall is gray. When you are in the psych ward, they do not fucking care. I understand why that would be, but I thought it was hilarious. What got me through all the is that I can laugh about anything. So I just found jokes throughout everything. Mental health conditions are even harder to diagnose and differentiate. Exactly, that's my point. So since mental health conditions are so difficult to differentiate and then to diagnose, and we're talking about for professionals, it's extremely difficult to diagnose. The layperson has no fucking clue. What, you watched the episode of House one day? Why do you think you're a professional? What you've been watching? You watched all, I don't even know how many seasons of Grey's Anatomy it is, but you watched all the seasons of Grey's Anatomy? You watched Nip Tuck, and now you feel that you got an understanding. You watch Chicago, whatever the fuck it is, Chicago Med. You feel like you got an understanding of how shit works? No. That's some shit. That is a whole conversation in and of itself when it comes to black people and our distrust and our disdain for goddamn mental health awareness. We and treatment and prevention and all of the things mental health. We got to stop that shit. It's a whole bunch of shit that happened in our families, in our lives. Fuck it. You mean to tell me that you grew up in the city? You grew up on the west side or south side of Chicago. Walking to school, you saw a guy get shot at fucking in 6th grade. You mean to tell me that didn't affect you? No, it didn't affect me. I just saw the guy was shot, and then I just went to school like it was whatever. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I just really, honestly, I expected, that somebody was going to get shot, so I just paid attention to what cars were driving around and things like that. That's actually my fucking point. You weren't even aware that you've got some residual shit that you need to take care of. That's just one example. So how the fuck is it, bringing this back full circle? Women, how the fuck is it now so confusing that women, you will tout these bogus ass statistics about abuse, but I'll even concede the bullshit statistics about abuse. These guys out here just whooping y'all ass. You've been in all these relationships. All these guys can put their motherfucking hands on you. Okay, you've been in all these relationships, and all these guys have been verbally abusive. Okay, you've been in all these relationships, and all these relationships, these guys have been financially abusive. You've been in all these relationships, and all these guys have cheated on you, and you've done nothing wrong. You don't think that with what I just said, assuming that nothing was your fault, you don't think that you need to go get some fucking counseling? You don't think that you were affected by any of that? You don't think that you have some residual shit that you need to deal with before jumping into your next relationship? You can't understand how that residual shit, your residual distrust of men, now permeates this fucking relationship? That's a problem. This is now to whatever woman who actually is a mental health care professional. Bitch, I'm talking to you too, you dumb motherfucker. Shut up. Just because you sat there and you went to fucking school for IO, industrial organization, does not mean that you understand what the fuck is going on as it relates to goddamn other situations. You went to school for this particular part. Shut the fuck up. God damn, I cannot stand you motherfucking bitches. You go to school. You learn specifically whatever the fuck it is that you are supposed to understand for what it takes for you to do your goddamn job. And then guess what happens? There is no job on earth where you do not learn the rest from on-the-job training. OJ fucking T, bitch. There's no fucking thing. You could be a fucking surgeon. a neurologist. You could be a motherfucker. There is still a lot you need to learn simply from OJ motherfucking T, which is precisely why they have clinicals and shit like that. Why you got to do different rotations. But do you think that guy who just graduated, or woman, let's be progressive, the woman who just graduated and now she's a full-blown fucking neurologist and everything like that on her first day of the job, that she's ready to goddamn run the department? No, you ignorant motherfucking bitch. No, no, no. Oh my God, there's nothing more irritating than a black bitch with a degree who want to sit there and pretend like she knows all things because she has a degree in a fucking subject. Shit, bitch, please, please. Oh my fucking God, I cannot stand you black bitches with degrees. Y'all irritate me so motherfucking much. If you somebody who if you're a goddamn black woman and you understand that, look, I have my degree, that makes me at best a subject matter expert in this particular lane of life. I get that. I understand that. But if you're one of these bitches who feels that, oh, I got a PhD or I got a master's degree and therefore I know all things about everything, I am doctor, therefore you need to call me doctor and that I am a doctor in all things. Bitch, you are a fucking mental health care professional. You're a motherfucking psychiatrist. How in the fuck does that give you any knowledge about sociology? Which is what we're talking about. Well, how does it give you any fucking insight as to philosophy? Please explain that shit to me. Oh, because I took a philosophy class when I was in undergrad. You dumb bitch, you. You dumb bitch, you. Oh, kill yourself. Kill yourself. Okay. See, y'all notice that I get rather upset when I have to when I speak about this, because this is some shit that I've seen on all these goddamn programs. The second, there's nothing worse than the motherfucking black bitch with a degree and a chip on her shoulder. Oh my fucking God. Black bitch with a chip on her shoulder is one thing, but you give this raggedy motherfucking ratchet bitch a goddamn degree, and the first thing that goes, there is no situation where that is not going to be within the first two statements that she makes to you. Hey, how's it doing? My name is Sharon. I got a PhD. Just wanted to let you know that. Cool. Can I get my Uber order, Mrs. PhD? Like, okay, that's cool. That's great. I love the fact that you went to school. Cool. So can you fucking smartly pass me my motherfucking fries, bitch? Can we do something along those lines? Just a motherfucking thought. Nothing is more irritating than a bitch with a chip on her shoulder and a motherfucking degree. Oh my God, because then y'all bitches got so much to goddamn prove. You've got so much to fucking prove. So much to goddamn prove. Those are the main ones who want to talk about that I'm better than a man and men and all the rest of that shit. Here's the. Let me explain. I'll give y'all a little bit of insight into my life. This is a problem that my goddamn wife had. I don't have a degree. I think best case scenario, I think I got like 78, 79 credits altogether from various fucking colleges. Like, it's not even all from the same fucking college or institute. It's just 79 random fucking credits. Just random. Just random. So when it comes to me, speaking to somebody with a degree, I understand, man, you've put your work in. You have done what is necessary in order for you to get that piece of paper, and I applaud you for that. I'm not going to shit on your degree. Congratulations. I didn't do it. And I clearly attempted, thus the credits, but I clearly failed at that. So congratulations, sir. Congratulations, ma'am. But we're talking about a subject in which I'm rather familiar with. Well, if you don't have a degree, Johnny, how in the fuck are you familiar with it? I'm so very glad you asked, you ignorant motherfucker, because I enjoy reading. I enjoy doing nerd shit. Like, I'm completely fine with reading just some basic shit. Now, let me just explain something to you again. I don't read fiction. I can't do it. I've tried a couple of times. I just cannot read fiction. The reason that I'm about to give you, it makes no sense. I understand it makes no sense. This is just me personally. I cannot read fiction. The reason why I cannot read fiction is because it feels like a waste of my time. Like, it feels like I'm literally throwing my life away to read fiction. It's not that some of the books aren't good. It's not that some of the genres aren't great. It's just I literally feel like I'm wasting my life away. And I know that's completely hypocritical because one, I watch TV, I watch YouTube, I do other things, I listen to music, so I do other things that would take up roughly, although reading a book takes up significantly more time than watching something on TV. But you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So when it comes to reading, I only read nonfiction, and I read the things that I think are interesting to me. So I read about fucking philosophy, and then I read about sociology and anthropology and psychology and stuff like that, and I read about fucking social issues, and I read about ancient civilizations and shit like that because I think that stuff is interesting. I go on great courses, and then I'll buy those DVDs, or I just download them to the computer, and then I can watch the episodes as much as I want. I got a whole bunch of great courses, shit that's fucking interesting to me. I just finished one that was on ancient goddamn Israel. That's some shit that I think is interesting to me. I enjoy that shit. I like that shit. I don't expect everybody to get it, understand it. Doc said this makes sense. Well, Doc, you know me, so yeah. That's just some shit that I personally like. But nothing irritates me more than someone with a degree who tells me that because I do not have a degree that I am not generally intelligent enough or I'm not well versed enough in a particular subject. Because this is what happens when I speak to someone, and I had this issue with my goddamn wife and my ex-wife and a whole bunch of you other motherfuckers. More than likely, if we're talking about something that's in your purview, I acquiesce depending on what the subject is. I'll assume I start the conversation acquiescing and understanding that, cool, you clearly know more about this subject than I do. More than likely, just in general, you probably know more about this subject than I do. That's not always the case because you pick some. If you have a postgraduate degree, what you know, undergrad is extremely broad. Your master's gets more narrow. And your PhD is extremely fucking narrow. You are not a doctor of all things in psychology. It's not how that works. You're not a doctor of all things in goddamn sociology. No. The higher you go, the more specific and the more narrow your focus becomes. So I used to talk to my wife about this, ex-wife about this shit all the fucking time. Because she, again, black women, you want to get into this whole compete. I have to compete. I got the show. Which is fucking stupid. So we're having a conversation about this with, well, do you have a degree? Where's your fucking degree? How you going to tell me and I actually got a degree? Here's that reason. Because you've got your degree and it's great, it's beautiful, that's lovely. You're again, the degree shows that you have the tenacity and a stick-to-itness in order to get that piece of paper to show that you have done what's necessary for the work to be accomplished. Mind you, y'all should pay attention to what I just said. At no point did I say that you learned what you need to learn. I say it so that you accomplish what needs to be accomplished for you to get this piece of paper. At no point did I say that you did the work. You can still have people write your fucking papers in grad school. You think that's not a thing? You can still, people in grad school, they can be just as lazy as a motherfucker who's in goddamn undergrad or high school. You can know that you got a fucking 10-page paper that's due fucking Friday, and you can wait to do that shit fucking Thursday night. I've goddamn seen it fucking happen. I've goddamn helped. And I'm not just talking about fucking her. Here's probably the worst thing. This is the one thing that irritates me about those particular people, because this is something that happens when I'm dealing with these type of people, and this is something that's been very consistent. I tell them, okay, this is the subject in which you got a degree with. When did you get your degree? Oh, I got my degree in 2008, 12. I got my degree in fucking 2016. Okay, cool. When's the last time you read a book relevant to what's happening in your motherfucking degree? That's kind of my fucking point. Right? If you only read when it's necessary to pass a class, that seems like a problem to me. Because I read on these subjects for fun because I think it's goddamn interesting. So, how did I even get on this goddamn subject? Oh, black bitches with degrees, you irritate me. So, the fact that I sit up there and read about your particular subject, your fucking, your career choice, your fucking degree purview, I do that shit for fun. Take the classes. Like, do y'all know how much you can fucking learn? Okay, first of all, you got great courses, right? That's the thing. I will always plug them. I wish I could be a doggone whatchamacallit for them because the great courses is just some awesome fucking shit. Fuck that. You got to pay for it. YouTube. Goddamn amazing. Did y'all know you can literally go to YouTube, type in there haven't been many subjects that I haven't been able to find anything. But anything that I was interested in, you can go on YouTube and find contemporary classes the entire semester on YouTube. I'm not talking about from some random junior college, although the information that you get from junior college will be just as good as any other place. But you can literally go and watch classes from Yale, from Harvard, from all of these Ivy League schools. No bullshit. You don't believe me? Again, you don't have to believe me. Assume that I'm fucking lying to you. I'm lying to you. Go look. You can look and learn a whole bunch of shit. You can literally get the same information that they pay $25,000 a semester for. You can get it for free, or essentially whatever it is for your internet service. That was a completely different tangent that I expected to go on, but goddamn it, YouTube is fucking amazing. Oh man, it's so awesome. Like, again, please don't believe me. Whatever it is, before you go give somebody your motherfucking money to go whatever the fuck, please go look it up on YouTube. Now, here's the caveat to that, and it is a pretty large caveat. The difference between myself, someone who likes to enjoy it and do it for fun and casually and stuff like that, and a professional, someone who actually went to college and everything, this is extremely important. I have to be very diligent in seeking out where I get my information from. That is a very large caveat. I have to be very cognizant of the fact that I don't know what the fuck I don't know. So I don't know what book I should be grabbing. I don't know what other corresponding texts or websites that I should be gravitating. Remember, when you're in college, you get a whole syllabus. This is what we're talking about, and then at whatever paper they give you, okay, they cite these other references and stuff like that. Since I'm simply just getting raw information, assuming that I'm not taking the course on Great Course or, watching the course. You don't really take a course, but watching the course on Great Courses or doing a YouTube thing. Even if you're doing a YouTube thing. By the way, also, this is the awesome thing about fucking YouTube. More than likely, you can find the syllabus of whatever class you want. So if you're just somebody who's into anthropology, right, you can literally go to whatever class that is. They say this is Yale Spring fucking Anthropology 236, right? Cool. You can go online and more than likely, you can find a syllabus for that class. Why is that important? Because the syllabus is going to give you, these are the books that you need to know because obviously, so you're going to want to follow along. But since I'm a novice, I would have no idea. I need to get the 4th edition because the 4th edition comes with all the corrections that were, well, fuck it, all the corrections that need to happen, right? How does that relate to what we're talking about now? So the same thing with mental health, right? Just because I could very easily go down a rabbit hole, and let me explain this. I'm not perfect. I've fucking done this before. That's how I know it's extremely important to just don't go into this blind. So I went into trying to understand the historicity of something, right? And understanding, well, how exactly do historians go in the past and then recreate a narrative from just something that was there? Again, anthropology, right? You found a bowl. Next to this bowl was a sword. Next to this sword was a fucking blanket. And there were 3 of these around, so now you determine that because of this, then that, and that, then this. How do y'all make that fucking story and understand like that, right? It's important that you understand how that works because if you In the age of technology, just because you got information does not mean it's fucking good information. So what I've learned is teachers are extremely happy. Like when you get somebody who likes their job, they are more than happy to nerd out with you about any fucking subject. Well, about the subject that they're in, right? So I literally went. I got one guy's books up here. His name is Bart Ehrman. He teaches religious philosophy of religion at UNC Chapel Hill. He's just one person that I email back and forth. I still email this dude. And I first heard about him like maybe 11 years ago. 12 years ago. Heard about this dude 12 years ago. Still email him back and forth every now and again. You know, probably like a couple times a year. Hey, what's going on, man? What should I be reading now? Stuff like this. This motherfucker has literally given me I can't imagine. I should probably have some credits just for all the shit that he gives me. He sends me his syllabuses and syllabi, excuse me. He sends me all that shit. Now, I know I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but I don't fucking care. Black bitches with a chip on their shoulder and a degree are the worst fucking people ever. I hate them all. I would prefer to be in a room full of zombies trying to literally eat my asshole than to deal with a black bitch and a degree and a chip on her motherfucking shoulder. That's it. That's really the entire that I had to say for tonight. So that's a minute and 50 seconds. Okay, cool. That's really it. This whole my truth shit has to go the way of the dodo bird. It needs to leave. Y'all women, please. And guys, that's just a bitch ass statement for a man to make. If a man was to ever say something like, that's just my truth, you bitch ass nigga, you. No, that is not some shit that should be coming out of the face of the mouth of a motherfucking man. Not at all. Not even. You shouldn't even form. I didn't feel right doing it, and I was imitating another motherfucker saying it. That should not goddamn happen at all. Hello, ding dong. Ladies, please get that shit out of your motherfucking mouth, please. Yeah, that's it. I don't really got nothing else on this subject. I forgot what I said my subject was going to be for tomorrow, but I'll figure it out. It'll be something close to these lines. I'm done with the Derek Jackson shit, so I only talked about that because I couldn't wait for this nigga to actually come and fall back down to reality. It was just a matter of fucking time since the nigga built his pedestal. That's true. It shouldn't come from anyone. Thank you, Doc. It shouldn't come from anyone. But ladies, y'all have coined that motherfucking phrase. This is my truth, and this is okay. I'm done. Hey, thanks for y'all for listening to me rant. Y'all have a good one.